A couple of weeks ago on Instagram stories, I shared images of the stats on my workout for the day and my walking for that morning. I will share those images in here. Right after sharing those images, I also posted an image asking you, my viewers, my audience, your exercise and fitness questions. I also asked that you held off on your diet questions because I would get to those at a later date. And I do plan to ask the same question regarding diet pretty soon, maybe next week. So be sure to be watching me on Instagram stories. And then next month, I will post that video where I address your questions. Now, a couple of diet questions did come through, and I expect that because I believe my audience for showing me who they are. And often people want more information, and I can see where the two seem to be connected, meaning your exercise in your diet with typically the goal for weight loss. So people usually lump them together. If I'm on my diet plan, then I may be working out. But if I'm off the plan, why bother working out? Well, something I've shared over and over throughout the years is to keep the two separate. And regardless of how much you work out, diet plays a role. And I will give you an example. I am currently in a little pocket or season where I am weighing myself daily. Now, I've shared before, I don't place a lot of value on the number on the scale, but rather how my body looks and how my clothes fit. Well, it's been a rough and rocky 2025. And I am working with a healthcare provider to find out what could be going on that is encouraging me to carry a little bit extra weight for no apparent reason because my diet and exercise routine have been spot on. And let me give you an example. Yesterday, I ate completely clean and I skipped one meal that I typically would have. It just worked out that way because I had a busy day. I did my workout and I did 2 walks that are around 4.5 miles per walk. Once in a while, my husband and I will double up on our walks and we will do 2 in one day, 1 in the morning, 1 in the early evening, and that will cover days that we have to take off. So for example, today is a non-workout day and there will be no walking because of what's on the agenda. So let's recap. Yesterday, 2 walks resulting in about 9 miles, and this is not a leisure walk by any means, did my workout, ate completely clean and skipped a meal, and I spiked up just shy of 1 pound. So 2 ounces shy of 1 pound. So be careful how much value you place on the scale because that went up for no apparent reason, which is kind of typical for my body in 2025. I don't sweat it, but yes, sometimes you're like, are you kidding me? Who is with me, ladies? Are you kidding me? Just remember that exercise can also encourage us to hold on to some water weight. So I am willing to bet that is the case, although I got my water in too. So at the end of the day, I just encourage you to keep the two separate because in one area you could be discouraged and it could make you throw in the towel in another area. But answering Q&As take a lot of time. I tend to be very detailed, so we better dive in. Please get on a cardio machine while watching or listening to this video, even if you are living a sedentary lifestyle. If you have a machine, get on it. You may as well knock out a cardio while talking about diet and exercise. And before I dive in, let me thank you for submitting your questions. I'm thankful that there weren't too many. I think about 13. The first one, what is your workout schedule? My workout schedule is the same every single day and has been for years. And I mean 4 years. I don't recall when I stopped going to a gym for my workouts, but I would say I am probably at least 10 years with the same workout schedule. I get up at 4 a.m., sometimes 3 a.m. I know that sounds insane, but at the end of the day, it's insignificant what time a person gets up or goes to bed as long as you're getting your quality sleep in. It has always served me best, and that is not what we're going to go into in this video. I get up at 4 a.m., sometimes 3 a.m., and I immediately work out. That is my schedule. I work out first thing in the morning. Right now, because we are in a season of warm weather, my husband and I also walk in the morning. So I'm not doing any cardio at home currently during my morning workout because I am getting a walk-in, which is equivalent to about 4.5 miles. And if you go back in the video, or I'll put the walking box up here again of where I shared my stats, you will be able to see how long of a duration that is, how much distance we travel with those miles, and my calorie burn. So right now, that is what I would call my cardio. I rarely get out of zone 2, but I am in a high zone 2, so it is considered a fat burning state of cardio. During the fall and winter months, when we have more inclement weather and I can't get out and walk, I incorporate my cardio within my morning workout routine. Again, that starts at 4 a.m. Now, I do spend some time on my stationary bike, barely moving, but it's moving more than sedentary, and I'm doing work. And if you followed me for a long time, you already know this. If you're new, there's other videos where I talk about this in depth. So that is my workout schedule. And again, sometimes my husband and I will get an additional walk in that day. It's a lot, but there's usually 2 or 3 days, I would say about 2 days per week on average, we can't get out for a walk, and the goal is to get 7 in per week. So if we have to double up, we double up. I'll share with you, last week, we only got 5 walks in. So that means I got 5 cardios in, but I'll take it. A workout is better than no workout. The second question, can you talk about the different weights you use during your exercise regime? Yes. Let's segue outside of this room, which is still in my basement, and I will walk you through briefly, if I can do it, the weights that I use for my workout routine and have for years. Even when I worked out in a gym, really used these weights as well. I wasn't so much a machine girl. I was more a free weight girl, although at that time I did incorporate some machines. So let's head out and take a peek. Okay, so what exercise equipment do I use? I use it all. I use everything. Everything I have, I use. So I have dumbbells, and I will have all of the weights listed. So there will be a list of everything that I use, including links. I have all the dumbbells. I have a Bosu ball. I have a bar with plates, dumbbells down here. I have kettlebells. I have different types of resistance bands. I have an ankle weight. I have lighter weights. I have plates, kettlebells, you name it. I have this step. I use this step and risers that you can build up higher or lower. This is the highest it goes. I use that every single day for all my workouts. I use everything. I also have TRX. I use these 2 to 3 times per week. So one thing about me
is I use it all. I literally use it all. Links to everything will be in the description box and on the blog post. And if there's anything you don't see, let me know, because I will be sure to get that link to you. Just leave it in the comment section or email us. Either way, we'll get it to you.
Okay, do you have a number one exercise to strengthen your legs? No, it's a whole menu that I follow, and I will have my workout routine printable that I print every Friday, Saturday, or Sunday for the next week. And I have my leg exercises on there, and it's all about rotation. I will not check off all of those in 1 week, not even close. It often takes about 3 weeks of training in order to check off all the boxes, but I still print this out 1 time per week, and I am going to do one of those exercises. So I'm not doing a video. I am doing standard exercises. As you know, my background is personal training. So I'm educated in how to exercise and how to use weights. I believe in variety. I can't stress that enough. I believe in variety and not sticking to all the same exercise moves, especially for the lower body. And let me share, I have workshops where I cover this in depth. I have a video on most of the leg exercises that I do that are on that workout checklist. If you're interested in seeing some of the moves in action, check out that video. It will be linked. I also have a couple of videos where I talk in depth about my workout routine, and I help assist you in creating your optimal workout routine. And I also have a video where I talk about this document, how I use it, and how I encourage you to create one for yourself so that you have a solid routine, a solid system, a solid plan. Please check out those workshops. They will be linked in the description box below. How frequently do you do the jump and pound for bone density, and how many? Well, anytime I train the lower body, I do 4 sets of 15. Upper body, I do 3 sets of 10. So again, 3 sets of 10 for upper body strength training, 4 sets of 15 for lower body. You can imagine how much time that takes. I am doing a lot of jumping and pounding plyometrics throughout the week. So there's no specifics. I just document it in the notes section. If you look at the workout checklist, you'll see the notes section. I will document what I did. For example, maybe one day on a Wednesday, I did 4 sets of 15 jumping squats, and I make sure I pound when I come down, because that is good for bone density, something we need to work on as we get older, but I feel like the earlier the better. You don't want to play triage later on in life. This question is very similar. How many days do you work on balance stretching? Do you have any videos on specifics? Well, I do have a video where I walk you through my stretching routine, and I also have a video on my posture exercises. Take a look at those. They will be linked in the description box below. I'm also working on balance all week long. If you're doing step-ups on a platform like what I showed you, those step-ups are helping you with balance. If you are doing a stiff-legged deadlift and you're holding one arm out while doing the deadlift, you are working on balance and stability. So I'm always incorporating it. As far as stretching, I'm not on an aggressive stretching routine right now because I have chronic lower back pain, and I plan on taking some necessary steps soon to mitigate that, because it's just flaring up too often, probably because I lift heavy weights. But what I've found is when I stretch, it festers. And stretching is good for us, but yet it's festering. So I'm avoiding some stretching as a result of that lower back festering, and I'm hoping to get some resolve and some answers when I start working with a practitioner that specializes in the back, and that will be coming soon, and you know I will keep you posted. Have you done a video giving your opinion on Pilates? I have not, and that is because I've only done Club Pilates, which is a franchise. I've completed about 11 Pilates classes at a Club Pilates. I've done a variety of classes, and what I've found, and this is no negativity towards Club Pilates. This is not about Club Pilates, this is about Tracy. The shape that I am in and the strength that I have, I've found that the Club Pilates classes are not challenging enough for me, nor are they results oriented for me. Now, I've never done mat Pilates, and I've never done the other type of reformer. There's a couple different reformers. There's another one that I've heard is more of a step up and much more challenging than the ones that the Club Pilates use. I haven't tried any of those classes because I've never been in a location where they're offered. My second daughter, Haley, who lives in Boston, she loves Pilates, but she does an at-home workout with a specific app. She's probably about 3 years in, and she has a solid routine, but she travels a lot. But she really loves Pilates, but her favorite of all of the Pilates modalities is the mat Pilates, and like hot mat Pilates. So when I visit her or we travel together and a hot Pilates or mat Pilates class is offered, I plan to give it a try. Because my daughter travels so much, she actually has memberships in a couple different locations. For example, in Soho, in New York City, I believe there's a Pilates studio that she's actually a member at because she just travels there so often. But she loves it. So it's finding what you love and which of the modalities, if there's a variety like Pilates has. Could you do a video on your new leg exercise machine? Yes. Why don't we walk out and I will show you my leg extension machine and how I use it. So let's go take a peek at that.
Here it is. I use it several days per week. Sometimes I will do a leg move with my weights, and I'll come over here and I'll do leg extensions. I like to do 3 different variations of my leg extensions, but this gets a ton of use. I have a 45-pound dumbbell on the leg extension machine, but I also have a 25, or not dumbbell, but plate. I have a 45-pound plate, but I have a 25-pound plate that I can add to that if I want a little bit more weight. I also have a 15-pound plate. So I have set my home gym up in the most optimal way, and the key is everything gets used all throughout the week.
What should be performed first, cardio or weight training? This is a great question. Thank you for asking it. Here's the thing. Whatever you loathe doing the most, I would knock out first. So if you just loathe cardio, knock it out first. If you just loathe resistance training, weight training, knock that out first. However, to be optimal, I'm going to make a recommendation, and this is what I do. So when we talk, now, no one asked me my routine. The first question is, what is your workout schedule? That's not the same as routine. And again, watch the workshops, because those workshops, I go more in depth. So if you want more in depth, take advantage of the workshops. I prefer to start my exercise routine, and again, I work out 5 days per week. I like to start with upper body. That is 90% of the time, that is what I'm going to do. If I'm not feeling well because of getting up so early and I'm just really struggling, I will then get on my stationary bike to warm up and drink some coffee to get myself going. But often I will push through that, and jumping out of the gate, I train upper body. After upper body, this is a perfect time to do your cardio, because doing cardio incorporates legs. Your legs are in motion, they're getting warmed up, and the muscles are already being engaged. So when you get done with that cardio and now you do your lower body training, your leg exercises, you've primed them. You know how we prime our face before applying foundation? You're priming those legs. So I will do upper body, then I will jump on my stationary bike, because I don't want to be doing additional walking right now on my treadmill, because I'm doing so much walking as it is, and I don't want to break down the hard-earned muscles that I have. And walking can do that. It can lean you out in that area and break down your muscles. So by doing my stationary bike only in zone 1, I'm not doing cardio. This is called active recovery. It doesn't check off cardio. It's not high enough of a heart rate to get you there. Watch the workshops if you're confused. Take 3-week intense for quarter 3 if you want to get more educated. I do a lot of educating in that. Link to join quarter 3-week intense will be in the description box below. I won't go into details of what a great program this is. Check out the page. But doing my stationary, my workstation bike, and that will be linked, as well as all of the weights that I showed you. And if something that you're looking for is not linked, please let me know in the comment section. I will get that link to you directly in the comment section, and then I will add it to the drop-down box. Also, be sure to tap that top link, which is the corresponding blog post. That will direct you to the blog, which is your easiest place to shop from, and you will see images of everything that I'm talking about. It makes it easier for shopping for you. If something's not available, I will have an alternative. I will throw in extras like my waist trimmer, the burning gel that I use, which that's a topic that I've spoken about in other areas. But my legs are warmed up and a little bit, I spend a lot of time doing that admin work. So I'm getting those muscles engaged, and they are prepped and primed and ready for my leg routine. So that is my sweet spot way of doing it. And that's what I would advise for optimal training, and then do abs at the very end, because everything is already getting exhausted. It's a perfect time to do abs. But again, if you absolutely detest doing cardio or weight training, and it's such a power struggle that it's just draining you, knock out whatever is the most challenging and difficult and that you struggle with the most first. Is power walking most days and working with some hand weights enough? Depending on your goals and where you're coming from, yes, power walking most days, as long as you're getting into those zone 2 or higher heart rate zones so that it is truly cardio and not active recovery, that is fine, again, depending on your goals. And working with some hand weights. Now, hand weights, I'm assuming you're referencing dumbbells like what I showed you. Yes, as long as you're incorporating those dumbbells. But if you are talking about some light little hand weights, 2-3 pounds, maybe 5 pounds, and you're not moving the needle higher over time, that's what you would want to do. I'm not a supporter of just these little teeny little barely their weights. Now, I use my 3-pound weights at least 2 days per week. I am using my 3-pound weights, but it's for a 5-minute burner after training. So on bicep day, when I'm done training those biceps, they are burning, they are on fire. I've used the heavy weights that I've worked my way up to. I have a little 5-minute burner that I am literally using 3-pound dumbbells to burn out those biceps, and whoo, Are they on fire? And it also helps to work the small twitch muscle fibers, the smaller defining muscles, and that's important to me, but my goals may be different than yours. And again, if you want to work with me one-on-one to develop a solid optimal routine, get a coaching package and get it today, because you're looking at about 6 to 8 weeks before we can even get started. So think ahead. If you want to plan for 2026 and you want to work with me, you are purchasing that package now to get on my books now, because it's not like you're going to get in with me next week. I am already full for the entire month of July, and August is already spoken for. So you're already looking at maybe getting in with me in September, depending on schedule. My arms and shoulders are too muscular. Can I smooth them out without losing strength? Because your arms and shoulders are too muscular, you clearly have the body type that easily builds muscle. I don't have that body type. My body type, I'm small framed, small boned. I don't put on muscle easily. It comes with great force. I put fat on very easily and weight on very easily, and I have my whole life, which is just sometimes you just say it's not fair, but it is what it is. It's been that way my whole life, and it's just getting worse. But that we can talk about that in a different video, or maybe a Q&A, or maybe a live or something. But some body types put muscle on easily. My husband would have that body type. He easily carries muscle. He's also high in the muscular department, although he lifts no weights. It's just genetically he's blessed in that way. You probably are. So yes, you're just going to have more muscle. That's just what it is. If you feel like it looks like too much, check your body fat percentage. If your body fat percentage is, let's say, over 25% body fat, what you're seeing is fat. You take that fat off, you're gonna love the muscles that are waiting there for you. But you gotta get that layer of fat off. If you look too thick, this is a body fat thing. Get the body fat off. Can you slim them down? It's hard with upper body, unlike lower body, where if you do running and walking, you can break those muscles down. Much harder with arms and shoulders. You could lighten up on your weights, but I hate to see you do that. Again, check the body fat percentage. If you're watching, and I know who you are, let me know in the comment section what your body fat percentage is. And again, if it's over 25%, I would go lower. I'd aim for 20% if you can, but that's pretty lean. But boy, you will love the results of that. I assure you. Give it a test, give it a try. Take that body fat off, give it a try. And I don't want to assume that you have that type of body fat, but it's worth finding out, which I place so much more value on body fat percentage than I do weight. But again, I am checking my weight daily and my body fat percentage too, which is low. My muscle mass is high, which is great considering I am in menopause. I'm postmenopausal. What should sedentary people start out with is the first part of this question. Probably just walking. I would say I would start out with building a routine of some sort, just moving a little bit each day and building on it. We can bring the weights in down the road. Would I like to see you doing weights and walking or cardio? Yes, but at the end of the day, you're coming from nothing. So let's be realistic here. I've been working in this industry for 18 years. I've worked with a lot of people. I know how it works. You can't trick me. I know how it works. So just get moving a little bit, at least maybe 20, 30 minutes per day, and start building on it each week. That's what I would do if you're coming from ground zero. Do you recommend Fitbit to track steps, etc.? You don't need anything. Just get moving. Don't complicate this. Just get moving. I've never had Fitbit. I don't really follow that. I do track my stuff, but again, I'm in a different league I'm in a league of all my own. So you don't need that. You can, if it makes you feel better and seeing that number keeps you motivated, by all means, use whatever you want. They all work, but you don't need to get yourself from moving instead of sedentary. Is it better to eat after or before a walk for the same amount of calories consumed? This is a tough one because I feel like all of the experts out on social media, you've got your eat before you work out, you fast before you work out, you've just got a lot. Play around with it, see how you feel, and see what results you're getting. Every decision I make for myself is based on how I feel and my results. No one is going to tell me I should do it this way because I tune out the noise of the world, because all that does is bog us down and leave us confused, which it wouldn't be because I'm educated in this field. But if you were working with me one-on-one, it's not clear across the board what I'm going to tell my clients. And it's not going to necessarily be what I do. In fact, it won't be at all. It will be about you. We're going to play with it a little bit. We're going to spend some time in trial and error. How do you feel? And what type of results are you getting based on trying both ways? But great question. This one I almost chuckle at, but it's a great question for anyone who feels discouraged. Is it possible to lose 20 pounds at 40? Of course it is. It's heavily doable at 40, heavily doable. It's also doable at 50, 60, 70, and 80. In fact, you could lose 100 pounds if you desired. There's no time frame that weight loss can't be achieved. That doesn't ever happen, okay? You can be the same weight that you were when you graduated from high school or on your wedding day if you choose it. But in that choosing comes hard work. The part that we have is people think they're choosing it, but they're really not. They're in limbo mode. They're in wishy-washy mode. They're in being controlled and managed by outside forces. And then they use this excuse like age. I've heard menopause. I've heard it all. Pregnancies, not meaning you don't put weight on during pregnancy, but I had a C-section, therefore, I just carry more weight than you who had vaginal deliveries. Or I've had 3 kids. Well, I've had 5. I've had 5, so there's not a whole lot you can get me to buy in with all of this. I've also gone through 12 years of perimenopause. Yes, my perimenopausal years lasted 12 years, and I'm postmenopausal. So it's not those things, age, this, that, putting the weight on you. It could be if your hormones are off, but if your hormones are squeaky clean, as mine are, we know it's something else. It's just a message you may have to do things differently. You cannot eat like you're 18 or 16 if you're in your 40s and expect to lose the 20 pounds. You will eat like a 40-year-old, and a 40-year-old is eating differently than a 50-year-old. And the 60-year-olds are probably eating differently than the 50-year-olds. You make modifications. I'm in the season of modifications. Thankfully, my weight is finally going down, but it's because I'm making the proper modifications. I know my body. No one else is directing this ship. I'm directing this ship. And I encourage you to direct your own ship as well. Trying to lose weight since a decade. Any tips for emotional eating and consistency? Absolutely. And when I take your questions for diet, I will be happy to answer that. Really, a couple of these other ones fell in the diet category, but I did address it here. So please plan to share your diet questions with me soon on Instagram stories, where I will put a box up just like I did for the exercise and fitness ones. As you can see here, you will drop your question in there. I will screenshot that, as you can see the screenshots, print that out, and then I will answer those questions. And that video will come out next month in August, which is perfect. Kids will be going back to school. This may be a great time for you to get either on a plan or back on the plan, or optimize your plan with diet and exercise. So these 2 videos will be powerful. Don't forget to check out the links in the description box below, but I highly encourage you tap on that top link that will take you to the corresponding blog post where you can see images of all of my exercise equipment, products, tools, all the things. And don't forget about the workshops. There will be links to those. You can read the blurb about what is covered in that workshop when you tap the link. Those are worth their weight in gold if you want to get more in depth on the topic we covered today and the topic of diet. Do the workshops, watch the workshops. That may strike the questions that you will have for me when I take the diet-related questions. Well, there you go. And if you did a cardio today while watching this, let me know in the comments section below so that I can high five you virtually and celebrate that win. Maybe this was a start to a new journey for you, and I hope that it is. Check out Tuesday's video where I shared my recent purchases. Always glad to share those. And then last week I had a couple of hot topics. One, my opinion on GLP-1s for weight loss, and another one on a viral topic of being billed for being a no-show at a wedding. $240 for a party of two because they didn't show up for a wedding they RSVP'd for. Thoughts on that? Check it out if you haven't. And then my recent video on doing your homework as far as paralysis by analysis. You hear you should do it this way, you hear that way, da-da-da. This is how you should do it. And then you start researching it and it's all so confusing that it just leaves you stuck and stagnant where you're at. So check those out. Great content and more great content coming soon. And be sure to be watching me on Instagram stories. Have a great one.